Hello and welcome to this month's KTM webcast. Use storytelling selling to narrate the pictures they've already seen online. I'm Doug Kennedy with Kennedy Training Network. Thank you for joining us. We always want to give a shout out to our sponsors that pay to promote these and help us get the word out and allow us to present these worldwide free of charge. Track Hospitality Software, a TravelNet solution. If you're a vacation rental property or a condo hotel, the best property management system out there, at least in my opinion. They also have Track Pulse, which is a CRM that actually is fantastic for the reservations. Travel Outlook, the premier call center, which is the best for reservations, as well as they have a Net, which is an AI tool helping. Better Talent, serving and helping people recruit and select the best talent. So I'm Doug Kennedy. We are welcome to this month's topic. This is a little bit unusual in that we normally rotate the topics every month. We do one that is hospitality, which is really open to everyone in lodging industry. We do the next month on the reservation selling, transient reservations selling to people, and by the way, every sector of lodging. And then we do one on the third month rotation for group and outside sales, event sales. For example, we just did one on prospecting, but this month's topic is for both group sales, group event sales, as well as transient reservation sales. And in looking at our attendee list, we have a wide variety of companies. We have several vacation home rental companies. Some of you are doing very high-end home rentals. Hi, Sierra from Outer Banks Blue. We have Austin from Diamond Gulf Rentals. I don't think we've seen you on these before. We did look some of your homes today. I looked with Julia, and you have amazing luxury beachfront homes. We also have quite a few other vacation rental companies. I can't forget Jessica and Lisa from Padre Getaways, some of my favorites. We have a lot of hotels. We have Rosewood Hotels joining us today, Kimpton Hotels, Epic. We have a Comfort Inn and a La Quinta. So a full mix of hotels joining us and a lot of people in group sales. We have Jay also in wedding sales, Bakersfield, California, Couture Weddings. Quite a few people doing the wedding and event sales. Also, we have a lot of people from Westmont Hospitality. In fact, we have 3 trainers on the call. Stefano, who's joining us from Rome. We have Amanda from Westmont, the trainer, and we also have Gabriella, who is a trainer for Rosewood. And finally, I want to give a shout out. We have 7 international attendees today from, I guess, 3 or 4 different continents. Rusu from Bucharest, hello to you. We have Sarah joining us once again from Beirut, Lebanon. We also looked at your property, absolutely stunning and beautiful. Armand, Berlin, Event Hotels. If your hotel is open by next July, maybe I'll come and stay with you. Send me a direct message on LinkedIn or respond to the email. Kathy and I are going to be going on vacation to Berlin and then over to Poland and to Lithuania, where her family heritage is from. Magdalena from Nizhuk, Mexico, Cancun. We always see you. Thank you. And then, of course, Natasha from Serbia, the Hotel Crini. And then Grace from Hazelton Hotel in Toronto, at least last year, the only hotel in all of North America on the TripAdvisor Top 25 list. Great to see you again, Grace. And of course, many of you have used me for on-site training, such as at Grace at Hazelton, where I come out and do training for the group and event sales, as well as for the reservation sale, and in that case, hospitality as well. So let's get started. It looks like most of you are attending live. We know some of you will be watching us on the recording. Using storytelling selling to narrate the picture. All right, years ago, not that many years ago, for those of us who've lived it, researching options online in advance, all you saw was a few pictures displayed on a fuzzy, low resolution monitor. This is actually I think it's my actual very first computer, which was, actually this is probably the next generation after that. I had the IBM PS1. This one had both a true floppy disk as well as, ooh, a CD-ROM drive and the hard floppy disk. I don't know why they still call them floppy disk when they were no longer floppy. But some of you maybe were a kid when this computer came out and you remember dial-up internet, ding, 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 shh. You probably remember your mom going, get off the phone, get off the computer, we need to make a call. Or maybe you shouted out to mom, get off the phone, I need to go online to play Toontown. But when you look to a hotel website at that time, or a vacation luxury home rental website, there was like a photo and you get really excited because you knew you were going to see a photo, but it would take like a few seconds. It would start to download. A little shaky line would come down and then the picture would appear. But now what do we have? We have the opposite. Prior to calling or emailing us about booking a group, booking an event, such as a wedding, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, quinceañera, or about booking a vacation, whether it's a hotel or a vacation rental, they have already seen extensive photo galleries. They probably also jumped over to Google reviews or TripAdvisor reviews or an OTA review. OTAs have reviews. But if you go to those first two, Google and TripAdvisor, they can actually see real traveler photos. So did you ever feel like this person here? She has seen so many pictures online. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. It is confusing. And so the more information we put out there, the more overwhelmed and confused people get. Now, I do want to point out when we do our webcasts, these are about 40 minutes. Sometimes I go over a few minutes. They're about 40 minutes, and it's a subset, a section out of our longer courses. So if you had us for hotel sales training, I come out and do hotel sales habitudes for a new sales habitat or a reservation sales quest class. So we cover the whole flow of either a conversation or starting with an email inquiry. And so we always just do a subset of that in this particular webcast. So some of these concepts, I'm saying that because if you're one of my regulars, okay, and a lot of you are my regulars, been with me every month for this year, you know I do always recap to kind of position the topic of today, storytelling, selling, within the bigger picture. So let us remember then, people are confused, they're overwhelmed. It is not our job to tell them what's available. It is our job to help them move forward in their decision. I know you've heard me say that before. All right. So if all we do is speak verbally or email a list of what's available, we're basically doing website search help desk. Okay. Now on the group and event side, there's plenty of companies. We talked about this several times this year in our hotel sales, event sales classes, webcasts. There's plenty of companies that want to automate your job. Okay. And they want to make it easy for people to book, self-book, self-service, particularly the easier, smaller groups with one meeting room and a few attendees. And by the way, for a lot of our mid-scale hotels, that's the majority of your business, the Smurfy stuff. So in the reservation side, you know, people thought your job in hotel reservations or vacation rental reservations would have been gone because everybody can do it online. And now, of course, this year it's been Chat GPT and AI because, you know, the computer's getting smarter. Well, what can we do that a computer cannot do? A major theme of all my webcasts. We can tell stories, okay? And we can make a personal connection. All right. So as I mentioned earlier at the start, this particular topic, and I love, by the way, seeing people cross over topics, but this particular topic, hopefully you will stay on and find relevant for hotel and resort experiences like our traditional hotels, everything from La Quinta and Comfort Inn all the way to Rosewood, Epic Hotel, Kimpton, and Hazelton, and Nizuc, vacation homestays, Diamond Golf, Outer Banks Blue, and the many others, 100 Getaways, that are selling luxury and upscale vacation homes, and those that sell group events. All right. So first, before we tell the story, okay, we have to find out what kind of story they want to hear. This always reminds me when my kids were little, like, which book do you want me to read tonight? and is it the fairy tale or the superhero or the one that has the lesson? And just like reading to a child, we want to find out the story they want to hear, okay? And we do that by unmasking the story about the plans they're envisioning. Okay, so I think it was our very first webcast, asking the right questions in their quest for a place to stay and our quest for a booking. The key is to ask questions. So I'm going to cover some for all types of salespeople today. But when you ask the right questions, you can now place them at the heart of the story. And then it becomes their story and make it all about them. So I'm going to share with you 3 simple conversational selling techniques that we can use when we speak to them on the phone, when we meet them on person, hotel sales, event sales. I hope you're using Calendly to get people to book with you and integrating your Calendly with Teams or Zoom or whatever app you want to use, Google Meets, to get people where possible to meet face to face. And you can also use these in writing, okay? So for transient reservation sales, have you stayed with us before or did anything online catch your eye? This is really important because, and now if you're, a Comfort Inn or a La Quinta and you have 3 or 4 room types, if that, then you can just say if you stayed with us before. But if you're selling a resort like Nizup where there's multiple room categories, or you're selling vacation home rentals, or you're at Elevation Resort, high elevation, and we're going to come back to your sales and marketing topic, but I'm going to speak to the transient side where you have different condo and different views. You want to find out, hey, have you stayed with us before or did anything online catch your eye? Because maybe they've never stayed there, but they've been online researching, and that's going to help us. Is there anything special about your stay? I can assist you with planning. If you're a traditional hotel, such as those managed by Westmont, who's with us today, then you find out, traditionally we would ask at a Westmont, have you stayed with us before? Okay, and then what brings you to the hotel? Because we want to find out if they're with a group, conference, or a BT, business travel account that has a special rate. But if you ask this, you get even more information. Is there anything special about your stay? I can assist you with planning. And then they will tell you, oh, I'm with Acme Chemical Corporation and we have a special rate. But then they might say, but I'm going to bring my significant other, my partner, my wife, my husband, and he's going to have free time. Do you know if you can rent a car just for one day? Or how far are you from the bus or the train, right? So he can stay busy while he's in his meeting. As I'm checking availability, as I'm checking those dates, what questions can I answer, such as about our amenities, locations, our meeting space, okay? And this is the one that gets them talking, okay? Now, specific to group sales and event sales, I love the question, how'd you hear about us? Then you know if it's a referral. Then you know if that their colleague from another division of the corporation told you about it. Or then if it's a social event. My friend was getting married, she was planning her wedding, and she and her bride picked another location, but they suggested you. Or they might say, actually, I found you through a random internet search. That tells you something too. You probably have a lot more selling to do. Have you had a chance to visit our website? Oh, yes, I went there. What questions do you have after doing so? A lot of people will do a website inquiry for group sales, and then you contact them and you send a Calendly link to get them to talk to you, or at least call them. Now, some people say, well, Doug, I wouldn't want to call because if they wanted to talk, they would have called us. Give a call. Some people say, oh, Doug, I called once and the person was mean. People are mean every day, right? Give a call. If they don't want to talk, they'll let it go to voicemail. But you put people into sales process. And then if you finally get them on the phone, especially use a Calendly link, hey, I know you went online because we got a website inquiry, but what questions do you have after having visited our website? What are going to be the factors in your selection for this event or group? Tell me about how things went last year. What worked, what didn't? Who else are you considering? And then, do you have a budget in mind? What type of budget are you working with? Okay. So these are just some examples. Of course, in a full day class or a private live webcam, we can get into this a lot more, but these are ones that hopefully you find some value in. Now, when we use these 3 storytelling methods that I'm going to cover in just a moment, I want us to remember to use this storytelling selling approach no matter which part of the experience you're selling. So at KTN, we use the value pyramid model to remind everybody in any kind of lodging sales to sell experiences, not rooms, or in the case of groups, meeting space and rooms, okay, or event space and rooms, all right? Now, unfortunately, this is how most people sell. We know this because we do traditional mystery shops where the hotel management group or sometimes the asset manager or the manager will have us call up or do email inquiries where we reach out and to people we've never actually trained before, or we log into their cloud-based call recording platforms. We call that remote call scoring. And what about 80% of salespeople do is they go straight to rooms or vacation homes, or for group sales, rooms and meeting space, instead of bringing them into the entire experience. So this is how we want to sell. Hey, as I'm checking availability, any questions I can answer about our destination and location? No, I'm good. Well, may I just cover a few of our amenities and services here at our hotel, here at our resort, or may I tell you some of the amenities and services included with your home rental? Okay, so again, recap from previously, but now we get into selling value over price, okay? So the reason I'm recapping this, when we use storytelling selling, we can use these methods no matter which level of the value pyramid we're selling, the destination and location, amenity services, meeting space, etc., and the home or room itself. All right, so our first storytelling method, super easy. It is called the just for you sales approach. What we want to do, this is actually the technique that will put them at the heart of your story, okay? Now, when we first do mystery shopping for new clients or remote call scoring, or when we do it for hotel sales or event sales, and it's in writing, they come back with we haves. We have, we offer, we have, we offer, we offer, we offer, we. Okay. That makes it all about us. That sounds selfish. That also sounds boring. And that's something they're going to tune right out. Be a you seller. Replace we have with you can enjoy. Replace we offer with you will receive. And that is how we draw them into the story. You, instead of we. Okay. So what this does, this helps them imagine how they're going to feel, what they're going to see, what they're going to experience. And it grabs the attention of those multitaskers. Okay. Now, I actually like the word imagine yourself. Okay. Well, we have 2 different room categories. We have the traditional room, and then we have the view rooms, and we offer a balcony with the view. Our traditional rooms are very nice, but imagine yourself stepping out onto your balcony when you can take in the fresh air or watch the sunrise or the sunset, West Coasters, or the majestic mountain views or the picturesque city views, right? Skyline views. So we're centrally located in the center of the city or town. You can walk right outside your front door and be within a short walk. We're located right on the beach, or we have this home right on the beach, or we have a beachfront location. You will be steps away from the beach, or the lake, or the ski lift, or the subway, or the bus line or the transportation or the city park, okay? We have a restaurant on site. For some of my resorts on this call, you have several. We offer 3 restaurants, 2 bars, and a game room. You want to book it? You can enjoy a fantastic meal right here. You won't have to worry about grabbing an Uber back. You don't have to go a long way to find a fantastic meal. We have an airport shuttle. That was my very first job in the industry. I drove that airport shuttle van to and from the airport. You can hop right on our shuttle and save money on ride shares or taxis, okay? Hopefully something for everyone in there. I know we have a huge diversity of property types and company types. Now, group sales, event sales, wedding sales, Smurf groups, sports teams, your group will enjoy, your attendees will receive, your guests can take advantage of. Make it all about them, okay? Sounds much better than we offer, we offer. I remember doing a tour once with a client, and it was a hotel sales team, and we asked them to do a tour like their normal, I guess, familiarization FAM tours, and then we were going to coach them on it. And they take us on the tour, and they walk into one of the rooms. Now, forgive me, international people, other countries, but in US, of course, we're still stuck on feet versus the metric system, but they would say, and this room is 275 square feet, and this room is 325 square feet. And then they would list the amenities. We offer irons, ironing boards, hair dryers, and at that time, the Keurig coffee machines, the K-cups. And we offer a Keurig coffee machines and, mini fridges. And then in the bathroom, we have 5 fixture bathrooms. I'm like, what is a 5 fixture bathroom? They were talking about the bathtub, the separate shower, the double vanity sinks, and of course, the other things we find in bathrooms. But instead say, oh, since many of your group attendees may be sharing, they will enjoy having the extra space, and your groups that are share with will enjoy the extra counter space. And because there's a separate door in the actual bathroom area, separating it from the shower and the sinks, so your attendees will have more privacy, okay? Now, next up our games, folks. Up our game at visually and emotionally descriptive language. This applies to live conversations and written messaging. Now, most of you who are doing group sales or vacation home rentals where you're doing a lot of outbounding, where you talk to someone and then send them a follow-up if they're not ready. Now, those of you who are in the hotel side may not know about vacation rental. You may think of everything as an Airbnb, but as I often remind people in a shared topic like this, we have about over half of the inventory is managed by agencies, and these homes are very large, and they have a lot of people staying in the home. I'm going to a client's in Park City this week where a typical vacation in the ski season might be a week minimum stay and might be $30,000. So you have usually more than one call, and you want to follow up. What again I find in both hotel sales and vacation rental sales is emails going out that say, oh, nice talking with you. Here's the template. And it's very generic. I often talk about Bernadette Smith. I don't know if you follow her on LinkedIn. I love Bernadette. She does work with the Gay Weddings Alliance. And if you're not cognizant of the same-sex weddings, this is a big market. I remember, and this is going back a few years, hopefully through her advocacy and working with major clients that she has changed this. But she would tell the story, and we co-wrote some articles. I was on her podcast about how she would have a bride and a bride calling, and clearly it was a bride and a bride, and had this wonderful conversation, and the salesperson was very accommodating. But then she would get the generic template that says, congratulations to you and your groom, and there would be pictures of a traditional bride and groom wedding. So I hope you're not doing that. And not only just for same-sex weddings, but girls' trips. We all think the template might be party, 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 but maybe it's a girls' trip where it's a little more somber. Grandma has just got a bad diagnosis. It's a multi-generational girls' trip. You just never really know until you ask those questions. So work with the template, but change the wording. Now, even if it's a traditional wedding and you have a traditional wedding template, or even if it's a traditional girls' trip and you're selling New York City, Las Vegas, Miami, and it's a bridal party, you still want to paraphrase the first sentence or two to make it feel personalized. And that's where we add in words that are visual and words that are emotional. And by the way, marketing directors, it doesn't hurt to look at your actual templates and make sure they're using you selling, not we. Make sure they're telling stories with visual and emotional language. Okay, so let's get into it. Visual and emotionally descriptive language, colorful adjectives and adverbs, words that appeal to emotions, not intellect. What are they going to see? What are they going to feel? Okay, and in some cases, what are they going to smell? If you're talking about fresh mountain air, or for us, salty sea smell that we have, all can picture in our minds, the fresh salt air. So again, as I said, often salespeople fall into the habit of overusing the same very basic descriptors: square footage, 5-fixture bathroom. A lot of people start with the number of rooms. Oh, and now let me tell you a little bit about our hotel. Our hotel has 74 rooms and 19 suites. Oh, perfect. I wanted a 74-room hotel. Actually, I was looking for a 225-room hotel. Thank you anyway. Or, this is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, fully equipped kitchen with a balcony with a view if you're selling houses. And it's $20,000 for the week. So start to be aware. If you're now, again, I look at my list every time. I'm like, okay, the people who need to be on this webcast are not here. The ones that are doing the best at the top of their game, you're the ones who I see every month on our attendee list when I go through it. So maybe you're already doing this, but you want to get even better. Beautiful, nice, great is awesome. But if all you say is beautiful, nice, great, awesome, beautiful, nice, great, awesome, we start to sound generic. Okay. Don't be generic. Don't be anonymous. What we want to do is work conscientiously to expand our working vocabulary of words and phrases that we can use habitually. Okay. And we want to use colorful adjectives and adverbs that help them visualize what they're going to see, and words that appeal to their emotion of what they're going to feel. Now, again, at the risk of repeating myself, great examples of this I love to talk about this when you go to a fine dining restaurant. These servers use this incredible culinary language that it's drizzled with a hint and a dash and a drip, and a chef takes the dish, takes the 6-ounce filet, or the whole snapper is then baked at 450 degrees, but it's light and crispy when it comes out. There's a hint of rosemary and ginger topped off with a lemon. Yeah, and you're like, I'm thinking like, oh, it's a 12-inch long dead fish, right? But they have that magical way because they work at the culinary language. Chef does tasting. She comes out of the kitchen. She provides samples when the menu is changed. People work on this. And yet we in hotel sales, we fall back to beautiful, nice, great, awesome, beautiful, nice, great, awesome. Okay. And when you're selling boutique hotels like a Kimpton Brands, when you're selling the Rosewood hotels, each of which are iconic of their own sense. If you're selling $9,000 vacation homes, or if you're selling a $900 a week vacation home, okay, in South Texas, they're all somebody's dream trip, dream wedding, or a big group or event that someone has a lot of pressure to make sure this goes well. Your attendees are going to have a fabulous time. It's going to be a productive event. Okay, so Visual words, take a screen capture if you like. These, of course, may tend to be more resorty, but we do have a few that we can use for the uh, hotels of all types. Of course, resorts tend to have more views. Now, you do have dramatic skylines in a city. Some of you may be in New York City, you have your hotel that is a Rosewood Hotel overlooking Central Park, the Carlisle, perhaps. Imagine yourself looking out over the iconic Central Park. Rosewood hotels that have spectacular, stunning views. But in particular in resorts, you have a lot more opportunity to talk about mesmerizing, majestic, tropical, glistening waters. Emotional words apply to every lodging company in the entire world. Okay, it's going to be memorable, sensational, enticing, delightful, cozy, nostalgic, intimate. And some of you, again, are more economy brand hotels that are joining us today, or select service hotels. Remember this, I often say when I'm training groups selling those segments, remember, Motel 6 to someone is a Ritz-Carlton, okay? And so it's all about your expectation. And there's a lot of people that just staying in a Motel 6 or a Red Roof would be a really big and fun getaway for them to have, an intimate getaway for their anniversary weekend in a small town. Okay. So remember, sell the experience through you, through visual, emotional word. And then our final storytelling selling method to cover today is to use needs-based recommendations, suggestions, and endorsements. Now, these are going to help you in two ways. It's going to help personalize the conversation. Okay. We've all had that server who helps us sort through the menu items. My wife just had a milestone birthday this weekend. We had a large parties. We had a large parties for dinner. The first night we went to our go-to Italian place. Kathy and I are very routine. I find a good thing, I stick with it. I don't want to be disappointed. But our two friends, they're like sorting through this Italian menu with two sides. We literally had that server, that was so helpful because they had a lot of questions. Then the next night we went with 12 people to a Mexican restaurant. And again, the same thing. We had our go-to items because we knew the menu because it's our favorite place. But I actually got to see this in both cases. We had a fantastic server. And what does that server do when someone says, "Oh, I can't decide. What do you enjoy eating? Do you like spicy? Do you want a big dish? Are you adventurous? Do you like fish?" Right? Based on that, I would recommend this. And we were also grateful. They were also grateful for the survey. I was grateful that they helped our guests. And it helps them overcome choice overload because everything looks good. Which, if you get past choice overload as a customer and no one has recommended anything, I don't know about you, but once I decide if I'm going, my worst personal trait is I can't decide. My second worst personal trait, whatever I pick, I have a sense of regret, known commonly today as FOMO, fear of missing out. So this is what we can do as salespeople in hotel sales for groups, and event sales for weddings and other events, and vacation rental for large homes with lots of people, where it's the trip of the year, maybe the trip of a lifetime, and in hotel reservation sales where you could be selling to business, leisure, or more commonly today than ever, bleisure. People coming to a city at a traditional hotel that usually serves business travelers, and she's staying over and bringing her partner or husband. So remember, planners, prospects, they're confused, they're overwhelmed by the choices they've seen. They're going to appreciate those helpful suggestions and recommendations, but only if you ask questions. I tried to demonstrate this recently. One of my clients over in Sarasota, Florida, and I did the sales training for them. And that was a big company. I also did hospitality training the next day. To celebrate 2 days of fantastic on-site training, they took me out to the best restaurant. It was actually in Venice, not actually in Sarasota. It was a waterfront restaurant. The ambiance was amazing. The place was packed. I thought surely they would have the top, best trained servers. So I asked the guy, I was going to have him demonstrate what we talked about in the class earlier in the day about what a server does when you ask for a recommendation, you know, saying, what do you like to eat? Do you like big meal? Do you like spicy? So I said to the guy, what do you recommend? There's like 20 things on the menu. What do you recommend? Oh, I always tell everybody to get the baked fish. So much for that idea. But most times, the servers ask questions and then they recommend based on needs. In that spirit, as hotel salespeople, vacation rental salespeople, and reservation salespeople, if you ask questions, then use that to refer back to something that they've stated previously. Now, if it's a written inquiry, maybe it was not a call, but they will say in there, you know, what's really important to them is location. What's really important to them is that the rooms are going to be close together. What's really important to them is they want a home that's more remote or a home that's closer to the village center. So refer back to that when you give your recommendation, suggestion, or endorsement. So since you mentioned that special circumstance, I would definitely recommend this option because, and as you're looking for whatever it is you're looking for, I would definitely suggest, and then based on what you told me, I think this would be an excellent choice. When someone tells me that, I then literally exhale and go, you know what? I'll go with that. We've probably all felt choice overload. We've probably all been relieved if you get a good salesperson. I did a class last week in Denver. It was for sales training for people that sell adventure travel. And this is generally individual or small party, like 2-3 people, adventure travel. What happens is if you ever want to walk the Camino Santiago, if you know about that, it's a religious contemplation walk following the path of Paul. Or you want to walk through Scotland, rural Scotland, or Iceland, or South America. They have so many choices. And, you know, we talked about how overwhelming it is for people and how important it is to recommend, suggest, endorse, and how much people actually enjoy it. And a lot of people said they literally hear the person on the phone going, you know what, I'll do it. And they finally cross that line. Do you relate to that when you talk to people on the phone? Oops. When you're doing webcasts, always remember to turn your phone off. And then you say, when they finally do decide, you say, you know what, I think you've made an excellent choice. Okay. Now, although it's always good to use this approach throughout the conversation, it's the most important when you're presenting your available accommodations, meetings, and menu options. One of the things that I saw in a survey done by a woman who presented this for an HM, Junvi Ola. I've talked about her a lot in a lot of my classes. Junvi, Junvi. And she actually did a meeting planner survey. In fact, if you Google search Junvi and meeting planner search her, she should come up, or email me. But she actually did a survey on the phone in like actual conversations, not just bubble in, to ask planners what they look for. And one of them said, don't send me the whole menu or all the menus, right? So when you assist people planning through that stage, vacation home rentals, we talk about this all the time. Some people do website search support. When are you coming? How many nights? How many people? How many bedrooms? Do you need a hot tub? Do you need a pool? Do you need beachfront? You need to ski? You need to be right by the list. You need to be city center. Okay, I'm going to send you the list. And they send a list of 5, 7, 17 homes. Vacation rental, you feel this. Hotel call centers. Yeah, I'm calling about the Marriott. The Marriott, which one? The one in Chicago? Okay, that narrows it down to like 25. Well, you know, we have different brands. Or you could say, tell me what you're looking for, and I'll help you find the best Rosewood or Kimpton or Omni property where you have multiple ones. Okay. And then, so when you're narrowing it down to room categories, there's 3 options I can recommend. If you're looking for whatever, here's a few suggestions I can offer. And based on what you told me, I think this category would be an excellent choice. I feel a sneeze coming on, excuse me. So I hope you've enjoyed this webcast on storytelling selling. I want you to remember why it's important. There's so many pictures online today. People are overwhelmed, they're confused, they are suspicious of the photos. They know they can be airbrushed and stylized. They want to talk to a live person. What they don't want to hear is a list of features. So be a use seller to draw them in. Be a use seller to draw them in. Use visual emotional language to narrate that picture and top it off with a recommendation, suggestion, or an endorsement. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me today. Remember, we do offer on-site training workshops where I come out personally, conference presentations if you're doing hotel sales, general management conferences. We do private live sales coaching. Kathy Cook is here doing it in the other room right now. We also have people that do it remotely. We do mystery shopping where we actually have 20 people that will call and place inquiries, or we also have the remote downloading of call recording platforms, and also hotel sales team process assessments. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for Travel Outlook, Track Hospitality Software, and Better Talent. Thank you, and we hope you join us again next month when we're going to look at the 12 steps to reclaiming your spirit of hospitality from the grasp of cynicism as we plan ahead to a great 2024. Happy Monday, everyone. Have a great week.